Won't you please welcome to the stage Ivy Tech Community College, Southern Indiana Regional Board Trustee, Dana Huber.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2014 Ivy Tech Southern Indiana Legacy Award Gala. Is everyone having a great time this evening? Well, it certainly looked like it. This is sure to be such a grand night. And let me be the first to welcome our most honored guest, Phyllis Robinson, and members of both Jim and Phyllis's families. Thank you so much for joining us as we celebrate life, love, and legacy by bestowing the 2014 Legacy Award on Jim and Phyllis. I know this will be a night to remember for all. One of the unique pleasures of the Legacy Award Gala is the cocktail reception, when we get to see old friends and meet some new over a glass of wine or your drink of choice. And as Vice President of Marketing for Huber's Orchard Winery and Vineyards, I'm honored that Huber wines are being served at the bar and will be offered at each table during dinner. It's one more way that Ivy Tech Southern Indiana Legacy Award Gala is keeping it local, supporting community businesses like the Grand Theater itself. When I arrive at the Legacy Award Gala and enter the Grand, I feel as though I've stepped back in time and we've all gathered in our finest clothes to experience a 1940s movie premiere. The look, the feel, the music, the night speaks of another time, another era when elegant gatherings such as this were highly anticipated nights for those fortunate enough to attend. As a member of the Regional Board of Trustees for Ivy Tech Southern Indiana, I'm honored to have even one small role in tonight's festivities. This night is a celebration of life, love, and legacy, and Phyllis, it is a night of commemoration as we remember a remarkable man who touched so many lives and literally changed the economic landscape of Southern Indiana. This night is also the culmination of a dream envisioned by our Chancellor, Rita Hudson Shorts, and Ivy Tech Southern Indiana in 2008. Awarded every other year, the Legacy Award honors extraordinary people from our own community, people with legacies of goodwill and good deeds evident throughout our neighborhoods and our hometowns. In 2008, we honored Ned Fow for his tremendous commitment to many organizations and causes in Southern Indiana. Ned and his family are with us tonight, and he continues to provide our campus and our college with guidance and support. Ned, would you please stand and allow us to once again recognize you as our first Legacy Award recipient. Thank you, Ned. In 2010, we again gathered to recognize a profound legacy in our community. We honored the memory of Paul W. Ogle and the tremendous legacy he has left in this community through the Paul Ogle Foundation. We honored Mr. Ogle as we celebrated the 30th anniversary of the Ogle Foundation and the board members who chartered its path of benevolence throughout Southern Indiana and Louisville. Joining us this evening are members of that board, Bob Lanham, Ned Fow, Willis Charles, Seal Blau, Kevin Cecil, and Kent Lanham. Lady and gentlemen, won't you please stand and be recognized? In 2010, we finally were able to honor a woman with the Ivy Tech Southern Indiana Legacy Award. And what a woman we honored. Alice Lasher is an entrepreneur and philanthropist, wife, mother, and grandmother, a woman of faith, and a woman who has a true passion for the causes that touch her heart. Alice joins us this evening with her husband Richard and her daughter Kimra, who is a fellow regional board member. Alice, will you stand and let us recognize you for your leadership and your role with entrepreneurship in our community. It says much about the Legacy Award, Ivy Tech Southern Indiana, and Chancellor Shores that our previous award recipients attend each gala to support those about to join the ranks. And so, let us begin. It's my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies for this evening. This will be Jerry Finn's first Legacy gig. He replaces our outstanding Master of Ceremonies from past years, Dale Oram. After serving admirably as our host, Dale has retired from the Master of Ceremonies business. Dale, will you stand and allow us to express our appreciation for all you've done for the Legacy Award Gala, Ivy Tech Southern Indiana, and our community. Thank you, Dale. I'm sure it's nice to relax and enjoy the Legacy Award from the other side of the podium. And so we have a brand new Master of Ceremonies to introduce, and I'm uniquely qualified to introduce Jerry Finn because I've literally known him all of my life. Growing up in Starlight, Indiana, I've been around Jerry and his family throughout these many years. We all attend St. John's Catholic Church. We all cherish our family and our community. And I know you'll find this surprising, we all enjoy a good bottle of red wine. You know Jerry, you know he loves his red wine. Most of you know Jerry as the Executive Director of the Horseshoe Foundation of Floyd County. You've probably worked with him on a myriad of community and civic causes. I've had the pleasure of serving with Jerry on 2 boards, the Indiana Youth Institute and One Southern Indiana. As all who know him can attest, he is kind, caring and compassionate father, husband, and servant leader. And I can tell you firsthand, he makes the most amazing cheesecake you could ever have. Won't you join me in welcoming to the stage our 2014 Legacy Award Gala Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Jerry Finn.
A little tight up here, but thank you, Dana, for that wonderful, warm introduction. And good evening. Good evening. I think I definitely owe Dana a white chocolate cheesecake for those kind words. And as a fellow Starlitian, I'm very proud to serve our community with Dana. Her professionalism, her vision, her leadership, and her passion for Southern Indiana is so admirable. So thank you, Dana, for all you do. It's also a privilege to follow in, though they are quite big shoes to fill, although if those who've seen me, I can do that well. I fill big shoes all the time. But it's a privilege to follow in the footsteps of Dale Oram to serve as Master of Ceremonies for the Legacy Award Gala. That honor is more the greater because we recognize 2 very special people that I've known for many years. 2 people deserving of this celebration of life, of love, and of legacy. We honor Jim and Phyllis Robinson this evening. We honor their devotion to family, to friends, to community, and to each other. We honor the memory of Jim, who is deeply missed by us all. During the making of the Legacy Award film on Phyllis and Jim, Phyllis commented on Jim's love to read Forbes magazine. We all know Jim was a free market evangelist of the first order, and Forbes was surely required reading. So, in honor of Jim, I found a quote from Forbes magazine. And trust me, it wasn't easy for somebody like me. It's like, what's Forbes? But a quote from the Forbes magazine Top 100 Inspirational Quotes that exemplifies the legacy of Jim and Phyllis Robinson. It comes from none other than Albert Einstein, who said, "Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value." Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Jim and Phyllis succeeded in so many ways, but not for the sake of success, but rather for the sake of their families, their friends, their community, and for each other. That is why this night is a celebration of life, of love, and of legacy. The legacy of Jim and Phyllis Robinson. And we thank you all for being a part and sharing that night with Phyllis and all who gather with her. Chancellor Shorts, thank you for bringing us together tonight as a community of friends, of colleagues, and of neighbors. Dinner is about to be served, but first, let's express gratitude for the Legacy Award Gala event sponsors, George Fowl Sons Company and Paul Ogle Foundation. Let's thank them. We also recognize and support our corporate sponsors, your community bank, as well as the Horseshoe Foundation of Floyd County. Thank you. And to all our table sponsors, thank you for supporting our gala and our campus. You can find all of our sponsors, including table sponsors, listed in your programs that are there at your table. Well, my friends and honored guests, it's time, once again, to celebrate a grand night at the Ivy Tech Legacy Gala Award. Dinner is about to be served, but before we begin, let us pause for a moment to share in an invocation. If you would, pray with me. Creator God, we thank you for the gift of life that we have been given. We pray for the wisdom to use our life to make this world a better place. You have blessed us so generously with love. May our arms and heart always reach out to others in need of love. And may we love with our whole being, our whole abandon, as you have loved us. We are grateful for the legacy which is shaped by our actions every day. Lead us that we might impact our world as Phyllis and Jim have done. We ask that you bless this food and those who prepared it. Bless those who go hungry in our world. Give us a world at peace and keep us mindful of the life, the love, and legacy which we create every day. Amen. Well, enjoy dinner, that wonderful Huber wine that you will have, the great conversation at your table, and the Don Krekel Orchestra will entertain us during dinner.
This next tune will be the last song by the Don Krekel Orchestra. Let's give them a nice round of applause, please. Don, thank you for entertaining us for this fabulous event. Don dedicates this last song to Phyllis as a song Jim would sing to her.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Don Krekel Orchestra.
Nah, leave it. They supposed to stay on the table.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I hope dinner was to your liking this evening. Can we give a big round of applause to the grand staff and to the chef? Did a great job serving us here tonight. And such delicious food and drink in such an elegant setting is one more reason why we always look forward to this event. Well, I don't know if this will fare in Dale's Master of Ceremonies grade book, but I will take advantage of this moment to offer a little bit of my own recollections of Jim and Phyllis and how special they were as a loving couple and as generous philanthropists in our community. Phyllis is one of the bravest people I know and is willing to jump in and help any chance she gets. Now I'm going to have to take you back a few years, okay, back to my youth ministry days, okay? I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I loved outdoors. So I liked camping, canoeing, hiking, all that kind of stuff that now I'm way too old to do. But one time I organized this backpacking trip to the Red River Gorge. And we had, I don't know, 20, 30 kids, and I was leading it, and Phyllis volunteered to be a chaperone, okay? Now, for me, 20 or 30 kids in a group, you know, that's quite a bit. But I think for Phyllis, it was kind of like being at home with the family, you know? So what, after 5, one more really doesn't matter? So, you know, what's 20? Well, anyway, we were down at Red River Gorge. Now, has anybody ever been hiking down there? I love that place. But this was like a several-day hiking trip that we were on. And we come out of the woods one afternoon, we're on this trail, and as we come out of the woods, suddenly the wind hits us. There's a storm blowing in, and we look ahead on the trail, and I don't know how to describe it. It was kind of like a natural bridge, for lack of a better word. The trail got very narrow, there were no trees, and there were huge ravines going straight down, and cliffs on both sides. So I look at Phyllis, and she looks at me and is like, straight ahead. So we head out over, and about the time we got right in the middle, the skies turned from light gray to dark gray to black. And all of a sudden, this bolt of lightning strikes, okay? Now, the things I said, I wouldn't repeat to this crowd, but once I got over that part, there was a lot of praying going on that I was doing. And, you know, Phyllis is like, let's get off this hill, because we were the tallest thing on the hill, and I figured that could not be a good thing in a lightning storm. So Phyllis kept us moving. She was our rock, and that's just Phyllis. She's steady as she goes. Now Jim, on the other hand, Jim was a legend to me. He was one of the smartest men I ever knew, and brutally honest. I mean, brutally honest, you know. If he thought something, he was going to tell you about it. I loved talking to him about his perspective on public education, as well as business. He was fascinating to listen to. I learned very quickly you don't argue with Jim. Jim probably forgot more in the last year of his life than I will ever know in my entire life, okay? That didn't come out right, did I? You know what I meant, okay? He was brilliant. And Phyllis was Jim's rock too. Their life together, you know the story of their paths and their reconnecting and